Hey there guys, John here, and it has been way too long since we were in this game room. The last year's been a little bit crazy for me, so I wanted to go ahead and make a new video to kind of update you guys on what's been going on, and also recap this past year with my favorite games and that sort of thing. You guys may remember I did this last year as well, and then tell where the channel's going. So, here we go. Alright, so like I said, this past year's been a little bit nuts, and content has kind of slowed to a crawl other than those little pickup videos that I've been doing in my car, and a couple of videos we've done in the game room, but really we haven't had a whole lot. And I just want to let you guys know kind of what's been going on with me. We had a baby, which some of you guys probably know. I think I did mention that in a video, in December of 2017. And if any of you guys know what it's like to have a baby, you know, those first few months are pretty crazy. Because they don't really sleep all that much. And this actually is our third child, and last. But the third one kind of rocked our worlds pretty hard. So it's been a little bit rough for me to get videos done and stream and get everything else done. And because we're super smart people, and I say that sarcastically, we also decided that it'd be a great idea to buy a house 2 months before that baby was born. So I've had a lot of maintenance to do on the house, and getting it in order. Obviously building up the game room was one thing, but there was a lot of stuff that had to be done on the house. And really this past year has just kind of been this big maintenance year for me. But now a lot of that stuff is done. So I'm hoping that going forward into the new year, we'll be able to get some more videos up. My goal is to get one video up a week. Now, sometimes those will be in-depth videos where I'm trying to help you guys build your collections on the cheap, figure out how you can collect retro stuff and still not break the bank. Some of the other stuff may be pickup videos. I'll still probably do those Goodwill hunts in my car. We just won't see them quite as frequently, you know, because we were doing several in a row this past year. And that sort of stuff, and doing more product reviews and stuff like that. You know, this past year, my most popular video was that American Super Nintendo Classic versus the PAL Super Nintendo Classic video. Like, I still get comments on that video, and people are still watching it for some reason, which is great for me. So I'm going to try to do some more stuff like that, some more product reviews. I actually have a couple of things that I just got in the mail, and I've actually got one right here. I am too cheap to buy a real Switch Pro controller, so this is actually a Switch Pro controller from AliExpress, which I actually just got in today. I haven't really done the testing on it yet, but you guys are really seeing it before I've done much with it. So we're going to do a review of this and see if it's worth it, because it was a lot cheaper than the real thing. That sort of thing. You know, and other videos like that. So that's kind of what to expect coming up in the year. Again, I'm going to try to do one video a week, and that content may vary a little bit, but I'll also be streaming over on Twitch one night a week as well. So hopefully you guys will see a lot more of me this year. Again, life should calm down a little bit. Oh, and I forgot the last thing that was happening last year. My wife was finishing up grad school, so I had a lot of, in addition to having that baby, I had a lot of child care responsibilities to do, which I don't have quite as much anymore because she's done with grad school and she has a little bit more time to spend with the kids, and so that will be good as well. So here's to a good year. Hopefully we'll have a lot of content, but without further ado, let's get to the games that I enjoyed the most this year and some other interesting surprises that I think you guys will enjoy. Alright, so first off, since this is a retro channel for the most part, I wanted to start off with a couple of retro games that I enjoyed this past year. And I actually spent most of my time retro gaming getting into a lot of Famicom games that I had never seen before. I saw a couple of videos that John Riggs put out, and really kind of got more into that scene, which was really cool. So a lot of the stuff that I've gotten into is actually Famicom games, and I'm going to talk about two today. One is called Summer Carnival 92 Rekka. Now, if you've never seen this game is absolutely insane. I think the most, the thing that I can compare it to the most is probably Ikaruga. If you've ever played Ikaruga, it was a Dreamcast game. It got ported to, whatever it is, ported to, words are failing me. There it is. Ported to GameCube. Which is the version that I have, and then I believe it's now a Switch digital release, which is pretty cool too. There may be a physical release of it. I don't know if there is. I need to get that. You know, it's one of those ones where Rekka I would compare to Ikaruga, in the sense that it's just this bullet hell and it's just like crazy hard. But the cool thing about Rekka is that it is just absolutely lightning fast. Like, you never knew an NES, by the way, this is an NES game, or really a Famicom game, but you would never know that the NES or the Famicom could process stuff this quickly. Like, it just absolutely destroys your expectations of what that system is capable of, and it's super freaking hard. So really, really cool shoot 'em up though. So if you like shoot 'em ups, definitely worth checking out, and one of my highlights of the year. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and do my best retro game of the year, and that again was another Famicom game that I got into that a lot of people seem to have not have heard of, which is a shame because it's really, really fun game. It's called Yume Penguin Monogatari, and I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation. But basically the idea of this game is that you are a penguin and you are trying to get your girlfriend back because she has left you because you are too fat. Yeah, that's the premise of the game. So the idea is you're going through all these worlds and you can't die. There's no death in the game, right? You just have a time limit to get through each stage and pick up the phone and call your girlfriend to make sure that she doesn't leave you forever. Now, the trick is, while you're going through these levels, the enemies aren't actually trying to kill you or hurt you. They're throwing food at you. And you, being the fat little penguin that you are, can't help but eat that food. If you get to the end of the level, you pick up the phone and you're too fat, she'll leave you anyway. And that's the premise of the game. It's a wonderful game, extremely funny, and actually pretty short, so it's not a bad playthrough. I think the first time playing it blind, I beat it in like an hour and a half. It wasn't bad. And just really, really, really fun. Now, I've recently picked up the speedrun for this game a little bit, which it's entirely different as a speedrun, but again, just as a casual game, totally worth playing, super funny, and that would be my retro game of the year. Now, since this is a retro channel, you guys are probably familiar with the fact that a lot of my content involves going and hunting after games and trying to find rare stuff, or even just, you know, semi-rare stuff that normally would be fairly expensive and getting a good deal on it and getting a bargain. A lot of my content is kind of geared in that way, so I did want to go ahead and give an award, if you will, or at least say what my best find of the year is. Now, a couple of months ago, I walked into a Goodwill, and there were some N64 games in the bottom, the little clear case in the front, below the register, which usually there's not a whole lot there. It's the stuff they think is valuable, like, a Wii system will be down there or something like that. And because it's not a game, it's a console, they put it down there just because they think it's valuable, even though you can get a Wii for like $15. So I don't usually expect to find stuff down there, but I went in there and there were some N64 games. And I'll put a link to the video in the description below. But if you watch the video from a couple months ago, you'll know that I went and I looked down there and I saw this game right here. And this is called Stunt Racer 64. And the reason why this is such a cool find is because it was a Blockbuster exclusive. Now, according to my research, there were about 4,000 stores, a little bit north of 4,000 stores in America at the time that this was released. And each one of those stores, unless they were like a huge, huge store with a massive footprint, would have really only gotten like one copy of this. So there's probably only about 6,000 to 7,000 copies of this game in the world. And I was able to find it in a Goodwill. And I went ahead and left the Goodwill price sticker on there. And I don't know if you guys can see that, if my camera will go out of focus. But I got this thing for $5.99, and it regularly sells for north of $150 for a legit copy online in this condition, because if it's in this condition, then you know that it was a legitimate Blockbuster game, because it's got that sticker on it, it may have an inventory number right here, and you know you're getting a legit copy. So to find something this rare in a Goodwill, that's a pretty cool thing. So I was pretty excited to find this. This will probably stay on my shelf unless somebody wants to trade me a copy of Wacky Races for it for the NES or something like that. This was a really cool find, and this is definitely my retro find of the year. Now, one other thing that I should note, I did find one of my holy grails last year, and I have not made a video about it yet because I found it, and then it was a big pickup. And if you watch the NES pickup that I did, it took me a while to make that one because it was such a big pickup and there was a lot to go through. Same kind of deal with this one, but in that pickup is one of my holy grails. But since I haven't made a video about that yet, I didn't want to include that in this because I don't want to give it away before the video, because that's what people watch for. So anyways, Stunt Racer 64, really cool to find this, and that's my find of the year. And now for the game of the year. Now I've been enjoying quite a few games this year that I found to be a lot of fun, and to be honest, it's probably going to surprise no one considering what I just explained earlier. My Switch has kind of been my best friend as far as gaming goes this year, because it's portable, and I can take it wherever I go with me. So just going through a couple of the games that I enjoyed. First of all, probably surprising no one knowing how much of a Mega Man fan I am. Mega Man 11 was a ton of fun. I really, really enjoyed this game. The longer levels was cool because having played as much Mega Man as I have, I generally have been able to blow through the short levels, and actually having to game over a couple times and continue was kind of nice on this thing because you know, these levels are long and they put a lot of effort into it, and I'm really, really looking forward to Mega Man 12. So anyway, so Mega Man 11, definitely worth playing if you haven't picked it up yet. It's been going on sale for like $20 lately, which is like super cheap for such a good game. Also, another one that I don't see a lot of people talk about, and I think it was from what I gather on the internet, it was pretty hyped up before it came out, and then it just kind of took too long to come out, so then the hype died and nobody really did much about it. But Owlboy, if you haven't played Owlboy, this is a really, really cool like hand illustrated kind of puzzle platformer adventure game, and a lot of fun and pretty unique. So definitely worth checking out. The flight system is pretty fun in this game. It's pretty free roaming. You can kind of fly anywhere you want, which is a lot of fun. And some of the puzzles are pretty cool. And the world that they created is just, again, pretty cool. So definitely worth checking out. Unfortunately, a lot of these little indie games that come out, they have like cool cases and stuff with them. There's not much with this one, unfortunately, but definitely worth picking up. So check it out. Now, before I get to my game of the year, which some of you guys may be able to guess what that is, I wanted to go ahead and talk about another one that really nobody seems to be talking about. It came out late at the end of the year, and it is an awesome game. If you like Metroidvanias, then you really need to check out Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Now, this shouldn't be confused with what my game of the year was last year, which was Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. Now, I love this game so much I bought it 3 times, so that's a testament to how good I think this game is, but it's not the same thing. This is a remaster of Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap, on the Master System. Not really a remaster, a complete remake. And it's kind of an action platform game. But this, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, is a little bit different. It's a Metroidvania game, and it is another remaster remake, but it's a really, really good game, and nobody's talking about this thing, and I don't really know why, other than the fact I think it just got swept under the rug. I mean, this came out, this arrived on my doorstep like 3 days before Smash Ultimate did, which, you know, everybody was playing Smash Ultimate at the time. I don't know why they released this at the same time as Smash Ultimate. That seems like a really bad idea to me. So, you know, nobody's really heard about it. But, and then here's the instruction manual, and it's a full color manual, the whole thing. So definitely worth picking up. You got your map there. If you haven't picked it up, if you like Metroidvanias, really cool game, kind of short, but then again, the original game was short, so that's not a huge surprise. Tons of charm, tons of personality. Wonder Boy, nope, not Wonder Boy, Monster Boy, and the Cursed Kingdom, definitely check it out. And wait just a minute, I just realized I forgot one. This probably should have gone in the retro game category, but I did want to point out, I did get addicted to one more retro game this year, and that is the Cowlitz Gamer's Second Adventure. Now, if you've never heard of this, I wouldn't blame you, because it is a homebrew NES game that just came out last year. Well, I guess 2 years ago now. It came out in 2017, and it was only made for the Cowlitz Gamers for Kids Expo. It's a gaming convention that happens out in Washington. And it's actually John Hancock's convention. If you watch his channel, you probably know who he is. But anyways, it was made for his convention, basically just as a way to fundraise for all the proceeds go towards a children's hospital out there. Now, this is one of the coolest, most fun homebrews I've ever seen, and I actually picked up the speed run to this, and it is a ton of fun. If you've never played it, you got to check it out. They did just release the ROM, I believe in November, for download online. So if you just Google the Cowlitz Gamer's Second Adventure, you'll be able to find it. It's on MTGFX's website, and you can download the ROM of both this game and the first one. Now, this one is way better than the first one, but one of the things that I really want to point out about this game is that the music is absolutely incredible. This has one of the best NES soundtracks that I have ever seen or really ever heard in my life, and it's definitely worth checking out. So I didn't want this video to go by without me mentioning this. I know that I finished the retro game section a little while ago, but I had to mention this one. And last but not least, we have my game of the year. And this will probably surprise no one, and this is kind of the generic answer that you might be expecting, because I think a lot of people have this as their game of the year. But Smash Ultimate, really, to me, kind of hit all the high notes. You know, you've got the adventure mode back in there with World of Light, which, no, it's no Subspace Emissary because there's not a cutscene every 5 seconds, but it really did the trick for me. I mean, I was fine with it. Any kind of story mode is good with me with Smash Brothers, because I love playing Smash multiplayer, but that single player campaign is a really important part of pretty much any game to me. Otherwise, you've got all the characters back, which is super cool, and even some of the characters that they existed before, they seem to handle a lot better than they did before. They've retweaked and retuned pretty much every character in the game. Luigi finally has his Poltergust, which is cool. You know, King DDD, who I main, is a little bit faster. He moves a little bit faster, so he's been tweaked a bit. Mega Man is about the same, which I feel like is kind of a downgrade because a lot of the other people have been tweaked, but that's neither here nor there. But anyways, this is just everything that I really wanted from a Smash Brothers game. There's just so much content in it, it's going to take me forever to get through it all. And that's exactly what I wanted, and exactly what I was hoping for, and exactly what Smash 4 did not give me. And I love Smash 4, and Smash 4 I played a ton. But this game, man, this is the Smash Brothers I've been wanting for years. And every time a new Smash comes out, I give it about a month after, and I'm already waiting on the next one. And that's how much I love Smash. So the fact that this is that good that I would call it my game of the year, that's saying a lot. And yeah, if you don't have Smash Brothers Ultimate, I mean, like, what are you doing? If you like Smash Brothers, you have to get this game, because it's legitimately the ultimate Smash Brothers. So what are you waiting for? Alright, so that's what I've been playing for the past year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and maybe you find out about something that you didn't know about before. That's my hope anyway, because there's a lot of great games out there that really nobody knows about. And so hopefully that was useful to you guys. As for content coming up, I do have a few things coming up which are pretty cool. I again have that big pickup that I alluded to earlier, where I got that Holy Grail that I've been looking for a long time. I'm also going to make a video about how you can collect on the cheap, and kind of some of the strategies that I use. That'll be in one of my in-depth videos that I do. Again, I'll be doing pickup videos and stuff live, kind of like I've been doing reviews of game stores. Speaking of reviews of game stores, I also have a lot of old footage of game store trips that I've done in the past year, and I've even done like the post, you know, when I talk about the store and if I pick something up and all that stuff. I have a lot of that stuff just archived and sitting on my hard drive that I just never got around to editing because I didn't have the time to go and edit it. Recording this stuff is actually pretty quick compared to the amount of time that I spend editing. So I've got a lot of that archived content coming up, and a lot of things that just hopefully will make the channel you know, have a little bit more content and also be more interesting in the coming year. Also have a little bit of rebranding that I'm going to be doing as well, new intro video, that kind of things. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. This has been a great experience for me doing YouTube in general. And as of this video, I have 250 subscribers, which, you know, when I started doing this, I had no idea that anybody would listen to me anyway. I figured they would just turn it off after 30 seconds. But I've gotten a lot of really good feedback over the past year on what works and what doesn't work. So we're going to apply that. And we're going to keep going into 2019, and hopefully that 250 subscribers will go way up. So thank you guys for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys next time.